The products manufactured at LG Chemicals are shipped and produced under precision work and strict quality control. But no matter how excellent the product might be, the proper exterior or function cannot be demonstrated as a product if installation isn't done properly. The proper installation not only makes the dignity of the product much better, but extends the life even longer. Please perform the installation according to the installation guideline of our company. We're not responsible for installation flaws of products installed voluntarily without following this installation method. The printed sheet is equipped with excellent durability and antibacteria, as well as being the unique floor material that has given life to the delicate tree layer and cubic effect of real wood by applying special printing techniques. The chip inlaid sheet can be used for a long time by maintaining the same design, even if it wears out, with the unique inlaid structure. Now let's find out the environment inspection and measures before installation, as well as the installation method in order. Please observe the following details to perform the operation during the installation. First, handle with transport tool or by 2 people in one team because it is a heavy product. Second, be sure to prevent deformity of the product by perpendicular storage during the storage. Third, please be sure to perform ventilation during the installation of a sealed place. Fourth, please observe the safety rules of the installation site. Fifth, please be sure to read the installation guideline before performing installation. For the installation and arrangement of printed sheet and chip inlaid sheet, the following installation tools and materials are necessary. Long scribber is the tool used while drawing the wall surface shape on the textile and can be adjusted up to 40 centimeters. Hook knife is the tool for cutting out the textile or cutting the textile along the drawn line. Edge trimmer is the tool used for cutting the edge precisely by adjusting the edge of textile freely by about 1 to 2 centimeters. Cutting guide and scriber is the tool for cutting the connection edge of next width based on the side of textile's connection section that has been cut with edge trimmer. Hand roller is the tool used for perfect adhesion of connection section or edge after sticking the textile to the floor. Welding machine is the tool used during PVC welding of connection section. Cyanoacrylate adhesive is the solvent to perform the role of filling up the connection section. Pressure roller is the tool used to enable complete compression without any loose parts by eliminating the air between floor and textile after sticking textile to the floor. Other tools are cutter, measuring tape for measuring work, digital thermometer, hydrometer for measuring moisture, scraper for removing alien substances, filler and binder for reinforcement of floor condition, masking tape for repairing cracks and contaminated parts, iron rule, sawdust for cleaning and cleaner, etc. The builder must not forget that customers demand even the perfect quality of installation, and because reinstallation and repairs are difficult due to the nature of floor materials, one must make the best effort to perform installation after taking complete measures by checking the floor condition before installation. Install by gathering the textiles having closest manufacturing date and roll number of the package label, and the ones that have been installed in straight and reverse direction must be built in reverse direction to prevent flaws like color variation and different gloss. Materials must be standing at the rotting site during storage to prevent pressing. Also, materials must be installed after maintaining fixed temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius or higher for at least 1 day at the installation site, along with adhesive to prevent connecting or edge sections from being loose. A smooth and even state without unevenness and curve on the floor is required for installation, and the intensity of the surface mortar must be adequate. First, in order to remove alien substances like dust and sand, sweep out after sprinkling sawdust on the floor or straighten the floor using cleaner. But if surface intensity is weak, as sand and dust are created continuously due to floor condition, perform surface mortar reinforcement using binder, because the adhesive can exfoliate from the floor mortar section. Also, because cracks may appear from sinking or hollowed sections, the reinforcement operation must be performed using filler. For new buildings where heating is possible, cure by operating heater before installation and partial repair work must be performed, using crack repair material or masking tape, because cracks may create flaws like crack wave. Also, contaminated parts must be taped or performed with grinding repair work to prevent flaws like discoloration. While measuring moisture of the floor to install, measure 5 or more places at random to make average value less than 5%. If more than 5%, steps must be taken for adequate curing by running heater or hot wind blaster to prevent shrinkage, expansion, and wave from decreased adhesive power. Installation must be performed by 2 people as one team to prevent safety accidents and damage of products. First, measure actual length of the installation site. After removing the wrapper of textiles, spread them as perpendicular state, check if intervals of cutting guideline are consistent, and cut off by giving enough room of 20 centimeters or greater than the actual measurement. At this time, one person loosens the textile and another person cuts as much as the required amount based on cutting guideline, on reverse while rolling the textile by having 2 people as one team. The float restraining work to raise a pentice between textile and floor must be performed once cutting work is complete on the entire amount. All PVC floor materials should be installed at fixed temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius or greater, and float restraining work textiles must proceed at the installation site. The float restraining work must be performed by making reverse of cut products to face the floor and making products entirely even by laying heavy objects. Due to structure of installation site, the position of standard width installed at first may be somewhat different depending on the site. But here we'll show you the method of performing work by setting the wall surface layer as standard. Place both ends of cut standard width to rise a little at both wall surfaces and perform the operation of fastening the textile by simulation to be about 10 centimeters away from the side wall. Fasten the pin of long scriber, stick the end of long scriber to the side wall, and mark cutting line on textile while maintaining the right angle with textile. At this time, press pin adequately to make the mark on product surface. Cut with hook knife along the line marked above textile, but cut precisely by slanting blade about 45 degrees so the bottom would be cut off more than the surface. Once all wall fastening work is complete, textiles raised by both walls must be cut. In order to cut textiles raised at the wall, draw a long sign ped line on the floor along the end of the reverse side of the wall and mark cross-shaped line. Next, move the textile until one end of the textile rising at the wall would reach the floor. Spread on the floor and adjust well so the textile would match the line drawn on the floor. For the line marked on the floor, fasten the pin by measuring distance of the line drawn on the floor horizontally, and the line on the textile has moved accurately with long scriber, and mark the line on the top of the textile with long scriber along the wall in which the textile has come down to the bottom. If the line marked on textile is cut with hook knife, it will correspond with the moved distance of the textile. Perform work the same way for textiles rising at the opposite wall. After cutting all textiles for sides, moves the textile to original position by matching with the cross line. Once the cutting of standard width is complete, apply adhesive in standard adhesive spreader. In case of commercial adhesive, perform entire surface adhesion, and while installation by partial adhesion for houses is the general rule, places with heavy rods or using wheeled chairs must perform the entire surface adhesion. While applying adhesives, perform application of adhesive after folding textiles by about half in length direction. During entire surface adhesion, do not apply adhesive on dry zone section of about 10 centimeters to 20 centimeters based on connection section line, and apply adhesive after cutting the connection section later on. At this time, the amount of adhesive is somewhat different depending on evenness and condition of the floor. About 0.3 kilograms should be applied per 1 square meter and must abide the open time to have adequate adhesion intensity. Once the application of adhesive is complete, press with 2 hands while moving the product to original position to remove air between the product and adhesive. Then press by pushing outward from the center of the width with the roller of 50 kilograms or greater. Make one side of textile at the width cut by simulation to overlap by matching the design above the standard width, and spread on the floor so both ends would rise on the wall. Once the second width fastening work is complete, wall finish cutting work, adhesive application and pressing work the same way as the standard width. In order to neatly connect the section connecting to the standard width, the edge of second width textile must be cut with edge trimmer. Connecting section adjustment work is the task of cutting bottom width textile the same way as top width textile, using exclusive installation tool at the section where first textile and second textile are overlapping. Because the method of using installation tool is different between printing sheet and chip inlaid sheet, for the connecting section adjustment work, we'll introduce both methods. First is the printed sheet connection section adjustment work. Use the cutting guide to perform connection section adjustment work for the printed sheet. 1. Mount knife on the guide. 2. After fastening the blade of mounting knife by making it come out by about 2 millimeters, that the bottom of the guide fastened by sticking bottom board of guide that can be adjusted sideways with the end of the blade. 3. Stick the inner side of the guide at the side of the top width cut with edge trimmer and advance forward. 4. Perform first cutting for bottom width using guide and perform finish cutting using cutter. 5. Once the cutting of connection section is complete, apply adhesive to dry zone and perform pressing work. 2nd is the chip inlaid sheet connecting section adjustment work. Chip inlaid sheet uses scriber to perform connection section adjustment work. The thing to be careful here is to overlap second width on the top after cutting the side of standard width with edge trimmer in contrast to the printed sheet. One. Cut with cutter using piece of textile. Fasten lower part of scriber to the bottom and precise cutting is possible by fastening after corresponding the pin to the cutting line of textile. Two. Make the bottom of scriber go to the edge of standard width. Overlap the top to the second textile and pull slowly by exerting force with both hands. 3. After marking the cutting line of about 20 to 30 centimeters, cut with hook knife. Check in advance if adjustment section of top and bottom widths are accurate, and finish marking the rest of the cutting line. 4. Once the operation is complete, the textile must be cut along the cutting line marked on the second width by maintaining about 45-degree angle with the hook knife. 5. Once the precision cutting work is complete, apply adhesive to the connecting section and perform pressing work for complete pressing. For linking and connecting section, there is a welding installation and cyanoacrylate adhesive installation. Welding installation is appropriate for commercial spaces, and cyanoacrylate adhesive installation is appropriate for houses. Welding installation is appropriate for places requiring durability and water resistance and prevents deformation of floor materials followed by suppression of germ multiplication and external forces due to the contamination by penetration of moisture. Entire adhesion must be performed for welding installation, and it must be performed 24 hours after applying the adhesion. For For welding, there shouldn't be any loose adhesions of connecting section. Opening of connecting section must be less than 0.2 millimeters, and the depth of hole must be half to 2/3 of product's thickness for flawless installation. First, check to see whether the depth and width of the hole is the desired standard by testing on leftover textile. Adjust grooving machine to the connecting section to perform operation. Rotate saw blade by inserting switch and advance with fixed pressure and speed by holding the grooving machine. Because the operation is impossible at the edge of the wall, because the body of groove machine touches the wall, use manual grooving gouge. Once the hole drilling operation is complete, remove residue in the hole using the welding gun. First, check the length of connecting section. Cut welding rod about 20 centimeters longer than the length of the next connecting section, and heat the welding gun by setting temperature adjustment switch to 7 or 8. Once the welding gun is heated, perform initial heating of welding rod by inserting into the welder nozzle to perform welding. Adjust the speed by checking the appearance of gloss on textile as the welding rod melts. Once the welding operation is complete, perform pressing work with roller while heating with welder so the welding rod gets attached well. For horizontal cutting work of welding rod, cut the welding rod as same height as product surface when exposed rod at product surface becomes about 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. Because the difference in gloss product surface and cut rod occurs after cutting the welding rod, the gloss is revived when appropriate heat is exerted with hot wind of welding gun. Adhesion of connecting section means the operation of attaching surface of connecting section by melting and prevents gap opening by alien substances going in from the gap after installation. A designated cyanoacrylic adhesive must be used. Shake the bottle well before usage. Let it sit after putting into container, after making sure there are no sediments at the bottom of the bottle, and can be used after bubbles disappear. Apply adhesive twice to the opening of 2 widths at a state of inserting the cat of container lightly. After applying, the adhesive remaining on textile must be removed neatly using clean and well-dried cloth. The connecting section requires delicate care so there wouldn't be differential layer between widths. Must be careful to walk on it after 1 to 2 hours have passed, although there is more or less difference depending on season and installation atmosphere. Also, the installation by adhesive alone without using glue should never be done. Once the linking of connecting section is complete, one must keep in mind that a perfect installation quality can be ensured only by pressing completely using the roller of 50 kilograms or heavier. for regular cleaning and maintenance, keeps installed floor decoration materials even more beautiful and extends the life. For cautions of maintenance and usage. First, for the adhesive to harden completely, please do not clean the floor with water for 48 hours after installation. Second, be sure to remove water, oil, and sand because they can cause slipping. Elderly and pregnant women must be especially careful. Also, do not wipe the floor with brightener because it causes slipping. Third, wipe with alcohol immediately in case of dripping chemicals like bleach or dye. These chemicals cause discoloration. Fourth, use underlay at the edge in case of placing heavy furniture and do not pull while moving them. Fifth, prevent direct sunlight with curtains because there is danger of discoloration from direct sunlight. Sixth, our company is not responsible for defects and hazards created from usage in atmosphere contrary to the purpose of the product. Please refer to installation guideline for other detailed maintenance methods by the product. So far, we have watched the product being installed. When we organized what we have watched, installation can be mainly classified as environment inspection and measures on floor surface, actual installation, and finish work. We could see that the environment inspection and measures is the most important activity to gain quality, which is higher than customers' expectations. The floor decoration material installed with delicate care and devotion silently speaks for evaluation of builders who have installed them and the evaluation by owner or customer who have requested installation gets to have decisive influence on future activity of the builder. While engaging in the work, please first keep the details to inspect and follow in advance to take steps. Install by devoting delicate consideration and devotion so the floor decoration material can satisfy essential properties, functions, or satisfaction of customers.